joined now by one of the mainstream media members who are here today, Jonathan Tannenwald from Philly.com. Jonathan, thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure.
So what brings you here to Blogs with Balls?
I'm here because Philly.com as a company works very hard to build a community around sports, around news, around things that are going on in Philadelphia. And we have a sports fan blog roll for the Philadelphia region that has all the different links to all the blogs and all the headlines from the blogs in the Philadelphia region. And we do work to sort of break down some of those barriers between the mainstream media and the blogosphere.
So what do you hope to gather today here specifically from this conference?
Well, I think, first of all, to meet some of these people in the flesh. It always helps in terms of building those relationships and building trust with the organization to not just be able to correspond via Twitter or by Facebook, but to actually be able to shake somebody's hand and get to know who they really are. And also to hear what these guys have to say about our profession and what we have to say about theirs. And it's a very healthy dialogue.
Is there not enough of that happening, you think? And not only, I mean, we here at Sports Media Journal, our goal is to not just criticize, be critical at times of the media, but to also give an insight to who these people are. Someone like a Jonathan Tannenwald or a Neil Best from Newsday or some other people that are in the sports media. Do you feel that sometimes the mainstream media may not be as understood by bloggers because of some of the positions you guys have put in sometimes?
I think that part of the answer to your question, yes, is the general answer. A more specific answer is the bloggers, I think it's not so easy when they have the ability and the license to say whatever they want, and I'm not going to try to take that away from them. But journalists, by the nature of the profession, are in a position where we can't just say whatever we want. We have to withdraw our opinions most of the time. If you're a columnist, then you don't. If you're the beat reporter or just a general features writer, you have to withdraw your own opinion from it. And you can't always go up to Andy Reid's face and say, why don't you sign that star wide receiver? Why don't you run the ball more often? X, Y, and Z. We do have to, do we have to withhold some of it? I'd like to think we don't have to withhold questions in exchange for access per se. But there is an element of truth that once you really get to know the players and the coaches, you can say that the player really is working very hard even if they're in a slump.
Something that bloggers will just react to without sometimes knowing all the stories. And I think when the mainstream media criticize bloggers, it's for that reason. It's because you're entitled to your opinion, but you may not always know the entire story.
And I think, there's a little jealousy. There is a little bit of trying to figure out, are the blogs taking our jobs away? By the same token, I don't think the bloggers always understand the full depth of what it means when they say we need the mainstream media to survive because we need to have the content to link to. I think the two are related. There's no question about that. And they are tied together and their futures are tied together. But, there is a much greater risk of the mainstream media failing and the blogosphere failing, and if that happens, the blogosphere is not going to be granted the access by the teams that will help to convey objective information about what they're doing.
Jonathan, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.